Do you think I'll be able to complete this Bach piece in a week?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because it's Bach, and it's a week.
This is the final product. I'll let you judge.
Finally here!
It's November 2nd. Basically, my plan is to have a challenge for myself for the span of 1 week. Alright, I'm gonna open it. Let's see what this is.
Keyboard.
So now I got the keyboard set up. It's plugged into my Mac. So I want to explain why I bought this keyboard. I bought it because I'm very much into Bach. I wanted to learn a Bach piano piece for the longest time, maybe like 6 or so years, right? But I never learned piano. I thought it'd be an interesting challenge if I could enforce myself to, this is Maui by the way, enforce myself to learn a piece in a time constraint. I don't want to spend all my time on this, but it'd be an interesting challenge. Plus, I've told all my friends about this, and they've all been naysaying me. Even my coworkers, all of them. I mean, I'll include some of the footage right here. What's the probability I'm gonna have this song finished by next Friday?
0.0. Maybe 0.00 if we want to get really accurate.
So I was just imagining you playing the keyboard and having a hard time.
So now you have a context of what people have been saying, and I've really been dying to prove them wrong. I'm not certain I could do this in a week, but well, actually, that's not true. I definitely think I could do this in a week. So today's November 2nd. I'm going to start November, officially, it's 11:41 p.m. right now. I will start on November 3rd. So 12 a.m. November 3rd, I will be playing this piece perfectly by November 10th, ideally. That's a goal. So let's see if I could do it, right?
Alright, well, kind of off to a slow start. Just got up. It's several hours later than I wanted it to get up, just because I didn't set my alarm. So I'm going to have my Chemex. This is some great coffee, by the way. I'm going to make some coffee and then I got to get to work.
So I got my mug of Chemex. I'm gonna see if I could grind out a couple hours, try to see if I can get something nice in my head before I head for my daily swim, and then I'm gonna eat something. So I honestly, I think the current best approach for this right now is to just grind it out. I don't know how to read the notes. I'm probably gonna have to learn how to read notes, and I'm gonna probably put some tape on the keys to help me out a little bit. But that's all I got right now.
Myself 10 years from now. It's so far away, it's almost impossible to imagine.
Alright, so that was my first hour and a half of practice. It's going decently well. I'm trying to learn just one hand at a time. I just focus mostly on the left hand, the bass part, or the cello part. I did a little bit of the right hand as well. I can't read notes yet, but I'm getting a sense of the scale, which is really good. I know if my hand is on a certain key, I know it's wrong. I might not have to tape that. I mean, I don't really have much to show right now in terms of what I could play, but let me show you my process right now. So as you can see, I have this one, I'm using a lot of YouTube. So I'm using this one thing called Synesthesia, or someone had already plugged in. This allows me to be able to read the notes without actually reading the notes. And this one is just a little lesson that's a YouTube video. I think YouTube is immensely useful for something like this. So I'm going to try to continue doing that. I'm going to go for a swim, and then I'll see you later. Oh, this is Julia.
Yeah, no shit.
I just want to make an introduction to you because this is the first time, I guess.
I'm going to be on the vlog, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So this is my girlfriend. She lives in Scotland. So we're quite a ways apart. But
I have pizza.
But she has pizza, so it's okay. So I just told you about the piano challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where like I want to learn this Bach piece that I just showed you in a week. Do you think I'll be able to do it?
So maybe. I'm kind of leaning towards no, just because you don't know how to play the piano. But I might also say yes, because of the fact that your mother is a PhD in music, and
it's definitely
piano.
It's definitely a leg up.
Yeah, it's a leg up. Like, considering you're her son, there should be, well, in theory, there should be some sort of natural proclivity towards playing the piano.
That's an interesting take. I haven't heard that one yet. But I guess since you know me well, it's a little more.
I don't know. Also, you're very determined. If you put your mind to something, it'll get done. So.
Thank you. And I think that's the whole point of this, is that I kind of want to show that willpower has a huge factor in getting anything done, especially something as difficult as this. I do think it's really difficult. I just did it for an hour and a half, and I'm like, it's possible, but I'm gonna have to put a lot more hours into it, or find out a way to like hack or engineer a way that I could accomplish something like this, because it's pretty much I have to hack my hands and like my body and find a way that I can, allow it to become part of my muscle memory faster. That's the only way I could see it being feasible. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think I'll do on this challenge?
6.
6? Okay. All right, I'll hold you to that. Hi, I'm back. So I just went for my swim. It took a little longer than expected. Right now it is 5:48 p.m. Let's see if I could crank out like at least another hour, and then I'll have a total of 3 hours. And then I need to also get my mom's take on this. And then I'm just gonna keep grinding. I mean, I'm gonna have to go. I may go to a party tonight, but I might not, just because I feel a little behind already. I mean, I'm already disadvantaged here, right? So I'll try my best. Let's see what we can do. Okay, just gonna wait for the plane to pass real quick. Alright, so I just took a break from... I'm still learning the piece, obviously. I wanted to address a couple things. I'm actually learning a ton now about piano and Bach. I don't know, I think there's no reason to think that I won't achieve this by Friday. At this point, I'm realizing like several things. One of which is that I think software is gotten to a point where it's changing the world, right? But I think manuals and paper manuals, paper instructions, written instructions are all just going out of date. When you can look up anything on YouTube, as long as you can find the right thing on the search engine, you can find literally anything. And there's a software called Synesthesia, which does piano keys. I don't have to learn any notes. I realize that there's limitation to paper notes. The fact that you have to divide it and show how much time there is, I'm pretty much able to bypass the code of written notes on piece of paper by watching a video of somebody who has put in the notes for this particular Bach piece. I'm happy I chose a short one because Bach is incredibly hard. I'm realizing slowly that a couple things about both piano and Bach. So the first thing about piano is that it's about hand management. So there's like a limited amount of energy and speed with which you can move your hand, and it's a physical limit, and you're supposed to play with that because Bach manipulates that very well. My mom used to talk about how Bach is very good, but it twists your fingers. It's like a tongue twister for your fingers when you play, and I could see what she means. You have to be able to manage the finger rolls well, where you roll over your other fingers. Like when I use my index finger to roll over my thumb to set a new position. I'm also realizing this about piano in general, but it's a lot about like how spread out my hands can be at once. The optimal position is to be the most spread out. So you have to manage. I have to use my ring finger and my pinky finger a ton, because that has to be completely managed. If not, if I'm using only these three, the efficiency of which and speed of which I could hit the notes becomes incredibly limited, which is incredibly similar to guitar. So these are all the things I'm learning. I think I'm still on track to be able to do this song at a pretty great level by Friday. Luckily, it's short. We're at an age where the things that were crafts, we can find a lot of shortcuts through engineering and software. We just need to find a way to do that. I went out last night, and it was not a Halloween party, but it was a party full of people, and they were pretty fascinated with my project. Some people have an issue with this project because they feel that I may be arrogantly insulting people who've been doing this for years and years. But I've been thinking, what's the point of doing something for years and years if you're not going to effectively be doing it? I mean, how much time do we spend wasting time these days? How much time do we spend on our phones, on Instagram, watching what other people do? I would go so far as to argue that we will never ever, I think painters who paint today will never ever reach how good Renaissance painters were. First of all, because we no longer have the master apprentice system. And secondly, because we just don't spend enough time painting every day. I think it's absurd to say that I'm insulting anyone, because I'm trying to prove a point here. And I think my point is that, sure, there are people who spend their entire lives playing, and I respect that. I respect the time that you give. But I don't think we're spending that much time on the things that, when someone says I've been doing this for 8 years, but how much percent of the 8 years have you actually been playing the piano? And what's the proportion? If you're playing less than 1% for 8 years, I could beat you really easily. If 1% of 8 years, that's like 30. Like if I play 8 to 10 hours a day, I could quickly eclipse someone who's only put in 1% of effort. And I think that comes that it only helps if you love music that much. I think, to be honest, I think nothing beats having the passion for something. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to call the guy who hates on me the most and discourages me the absolute most in terms of a project like this, because he strongly believes that there's only craft that you must put in there's no shortcuts, there's no way to hack anything. You have to do it the hardest possible way, which I totally disagree with. And he has been effectively discouraging me for a very long time. And this is my dad. I love my dad. I don't want to make it sound like I don't love him. But every time I talk to him about some very hopeful idea, he's very effective at discouraging me from it. So I'm going to talk to him next, and you'll get to witness the amount of hate I get about something like this. All right, so rant aside, I do want to say a couple things that I neglected to mention. There's no substitution for time spent. I'm realizing that the only way I'm going to get better at this is if I utilize every minute of every hour until Friday. That's the only way I'll get this done. I've been putting as much effort as I could into this. Nothing is going to stop me from spending all of my time until Friday to get this done. And I realized, why don't I do that with everything in my life? You know, I should be doing this with every single thing. There's a quote that Arnold Schwarzenegger says that really resounded with me back when I heard it, and still does now. When you're out partying and horsing around, there's someone out there that's getting better than you. And that's a scary thought, but at the same time, it's encouraging as well. It's a good reason that you should never feel FOMO. There's a limited amount of time and experience we can spend on anything. And if you're trying to get better at something, you should be spending your time trying to get better at it. There's no other replacement for that. There's no replacement for time spent. I think that's it. I'm trying to think of anything else I missed. No, I think that's it. Doesn't look like it's picking up. Nope, no pickup. We'll try that again later. I have a question. I'm doing a project where I bought a keyboard. I'm learning, you remember Bach Little Prelude, C minor, number 2, the one that was my ringtone? I'm gonna learn that in a week.
How?
Do you think I could do it?
Keyboard?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's right here. You see it?
Did you buy keyboard?
Yeah.
Oh my god, how much did you pay?
Okay, it doesn't matter the price, but do you think I could do it in a week? Is it possible, you think?
It depends on how many hours.
How many hours do you think it takes?
그게 얼마나 길어? 그 piece?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Maybe?
Maybe.
Why?
I was just curious. Because I'm asking everybody. I'm challenging myself. So I have to be done with this by Friday. So when I come home, I'll do it for you guys.
Oh my god. 조금 해봐.
I don't know. I can't do it that well yet. I can't even read notes, so.
그러니까. 근데 어떻게 해?
I'll memorize it.
Oh my god. 바크 피스는 어려워.
It is, yeah. I mean, I'm doing it with. So I did one hand. I did my left, then I did right, and then I did slow. Then I did faster.
쉽지 않을 거야. 왜냐면 네가 했던 거 있지, prelude 그 C major 내가 맨날 하는 거.
That one's easy.
조금 쉬워.
That one's very easy.
왜냐면은 basically 무비 하는 거 오른손이야.
Yeah.
그치만 다른 바크는 조금 어려워.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Dad. Not much. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Not much. You called me yesterday, right?
I didn't call you.
Oh.
Anyway, how's things? You should have let me know you weren't coming. I didn't go. I stayed in because I thought you were coming.
Yeah, I told Mom, but I guess message didn't
말했죠,
get
내가.
All right. Anyway, so I have a question for you.
What's the question?
So I bought a keyboard,
and I'm trying to learn a 2-minute Bach piece in a week. Do you think I could do it?
Okay, are you done? 다 했어? 얘기?
Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, I'm done. What are you talking about?
Yeah. What do you mean? What am I
Why'd you
talking?
buy a keyboard?
글쎄 말이야.
Why not?
내가 얻어줄 수 있는.
Waste of money.
내 말이야 이렇게 달라.
Keyboard. Yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, you think I could do it?
One weekend?
I mean,
Yeah, it depends on the piece. If it's an easy piece, it's straightforward.
it's Bach prelude number 2.
Oh, that's
in
어려워.
C
that's
minor.
hard.
사실 어려워. 약보다 못 읽는
No,
애가.
no, you can't do that. That's not.
오른손 왼손을
You don't think I could do it?
No, not in 2 weeks. 2
In
months.
1 week. In 1 week. If I do it, I'll play for you this weekend.
Okay, good luck. All right, I gotta go back to work.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right. Bye, Dad. I think I could do it. I think I could do it.
그래 해봐봐 그래.
Okay.
잘해봐. 이나 바크 어렵지만 해봐. 와 머리 막 이렇게 되겠다. 한번 해봐.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for the encouragement.
What
Mom.
is called exactly Bach Prelude number 2?
In C minor, BWV 934.
Good luck. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
잘해봐. 응.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
That's a radical difference between my mom and my dad is my mom is so quick to be encouraging. I mean, well, this is her field, so it's not really fair. My dad is I mean, I don't blame him for saying that I can't do it because it could be, depending on which Bach piece he thinks it is, it could be entirely unrealistic. So I'm recording on my phone now because my sound recorder is out of battery. But you heard it from the man himself. I can't do it. It's not possible. So, well, typically he's much better at discouraging me than encouraging me. But that actually, I don't know. I feel like proving all these people wrong, right? As, that's always feels good. So it looks like I got a lot of work to do. So actually I made some progress today. So today's the end of the second full day I have. I have pretty much 4 days left that I can practice this. And today for the first time I did it with 2 hands. I got a couple hours before I need to go to bed. So I'm going to grind some more. Alright, so 10 p.m. into day 3. I was kind of busy today. Had a lot of work to do at work. Day was stuffed. I've been practicing for maybe the last half hour. I need to grind harder because I'm not sure I'm going to make it. I am solely dependent on my muscle memory right now. And although I could hit the notes much better than I did before, I'm having issues with speed and coordination between the 2 hands, which is 2 very big issues if you know about piano. That's you don't even need to know about piano. That's some basic stuff that needs to happen. And I only have Tuesday, Wednesday, and pretty much just Thursday. I'm gonna have to get up early on Friday to do it. And tomorrow I have the party at work, which I'm gonna probably try not to go to too much of. And I have to vote. So, man, I just gotta make this happen. I'll record the progress at the end of today so you guys know how far along I am. How you feeling today, baby? The thing I really love about this thing is that you could just completely disregard the instructions and it'll still taste great. And I'm like the opposite of a barista, so. Hello. So, it is November 6th. It's about 5:40 a.m. right now. Polls are about to open in 20 minutes. So, I'm up and
kind of want to get there early and get my vote in. And a little bit prior to that, I think I'm going to try to get a little more practice in. Today's a busy day, so I gotta grind it in as much as I can. Alright, so it's time for me to do my civic duty for the first time ever. Thank you. Sure.
$7.75 straight down. 107.75.
All right, it's done.
Okay, just got back from voting. But now I have more pressing matters to attend to. So focus a bit. Alright, that looks beautiful. I've mostly been showing you like my time lapses of my practices. I gotta show you how I'm doing it. Jeez, that was way worse than I thought it was going to be. So obviously it's not ready for presentation. Just going to keep grinding. Alright, so this is day 5. Started on Friday. Today's Wednesday, November 7th, day after Election Day, 2018. I feel like it didn't seem like I made any enough progress to succeed at this. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I wanted to demonstrate what my left hand and my right hand interactions were going to be individually, because I'm closer there than I am on doing both hands at once. So, I mean, that could be a start, especially since a lot of this I feel is muscle memory. So, I'll show you something. So we have, we'll keep going from here. Now I just have to work on the two hands. I think I got to a speed I wanted. So let's see where we go from here. I'm pretty excited about this. So a lot of people have been saying all sorts of different stuff. Not to get too contemplative. When I said I reached a certain level, one of my friends who said I couldn't do this said that he hoped I failed, because if not, that means it speaks ill of his talents, which I thought was kind of funny and kind of strange. That's what it's kind of like. It feels a bit like a selfish conclusion, because it's or maybe even a lazy one, because for me it's not about like my talent. It's never about the static talent that a person has, and I think it's just more about the hours of the day you're willing to put in. Again, it goes back to me saying, me talking about how like we have these distractions everywhere, like our phones, our Instagram, social media. It really just drains away our main mental and physical energy, making us just channel our attention into something that if you step away from it, you kind of get to see this, that it's not meant for that level of usage that it gets. I think prior to maybe 2009, it had an appropriate amount of usage, which was like, I don't know, very infrequently. good way to keep in touch, but not the way we use it now, which is to, mostly brag, post, and then people stalk those, and just this strange evolutionary social arms race that doesn't seem to make any sense to me. I mean, the internet is great and all, oh no, I'm rambling now. I also noticed that people who play piano are a little more realistic about what I can get accomplished. I think they're not maybe a little less aware of the piece, but a lot of them have been saying, it's not about whether or not you do learn it, it's what about how well you learn it, which is, I think that's also kind of funny because it's, again, about the insecurities of the people who are unwilling to put in hours into anything. I am a firm believer that there is no replacement for hours spent, right? Like I said earlier. And even in a week, there's so many hours that you could salvage from doing nothing. And I think like I said, when you say you study an instrument for 8 years, what's the proportion of time you spend? I feel like I crammed maybe a month's, like, take for example, like a kid who's studying for a piano competition. For example, right? How much discipline can a kid have? They probably put in, I'm assuming here, when I play cello, I put in an hour a day, but I'm basically take this to the next level where I don't have to divide my time with school. I only have work, and after I have work, I have all these hours that are that I can use on my own, and I'm channeling that willpower and energy and time into this, and I'm approaching maybe the 17th or 18th hour of just trying to get the muscle memory, and I think I've come really far from knowing zero piano to being able to do some complicated finger rolling techniques of this piece. And I think people really underestimate their own power. They just, at the end of the day, I think you just need to get off your damn ass and just grind if you want to get anything accomplished. Like, there's nothing static. Talent is such a static term. We only look at people's current status, the status quo. We have no desire. People talk about wanting to succeed, but I don't see any desire or work put into that. And I think that's really pitiful. Like, if you're going on vacations on Instagram and all the time, like, look at me, like I'm just in my pajamas grinding out this piano piece. I'm not afraid to put this out there, even if I fail, because the progress I've made thus far already proves something.
But you really had the nerve to taste. You're not acting out, having tantrum, hopeless, focus overstated. But you done did all that just to say you intimidated. Huh?
It is now day 6. I don't know. I've made a lot of progress so far. Really, the biggest rut is that it's not memorized, and it's like I'm way slow doing both hands, but I could pretty much do individual hand pretty perfectly with the guide. So I don't have a lot of time left, right? So I have maybe 3 hours after work today, and then I'm going to be on a bus going home. If I decide to go home earlier in the day, I will have a couple hours before midnight, which means I'll have to work on the bus, which is an option. I might have to do that, but let's see. But this is getting close. I'm actually not sure that I'm going to make this, and it's a little bit upsetting. It's kind of dawning on me that I may just miss it. Honestly, I think it's all muscle. I'm trying to make it just like a muscle memory thing at this point. So, wish me luck. I'll see you after work today. So I went to see one of my friends yesterday. She had a performance in a music video release party. I will probably link her channel below because I really like her stuff. You should check it out if you care. I obviously care, but you, the viewer, don't have to care about it. Anyway, I'm just trying my hardest to grind this shit out. It's like I tried to record last night. This thing was dead. I'll show you some angry footage where like I'm really pissed off that this is not working. Hell, man. But for the most part, I'm cutting it really close. There's not a lot of time. A little bit worried about where I'll be in 24 hours because tomorrow's the last day. So tomorrow by midnight I need to have something. Definitely harder than I thought so far. I'm not giving up yet. I think I have a chance, although a slim one. But honestly, the haters have truly been my motivators. So I'm going to keep going because I want to prove everyone that I'm capable of such a difficult and challenging task. Alright, I'm a little anxious. I just finished my last practice session. I'm actually very behind. I'm going to be spending the evening going home, and then I'll have to perform something for you. I think I might... Listen, I think I got to a point where I could play it. I don't... Unfortunately, I should have put in more hours in the last couple days. Maybe this is failure. Maybe something I have by the end of the day today will be something worth showing. So, I'm a little nervous, but I will record something nice for you guys.
Any alcoholic beverages of any kind on this vehicle, and this does include the restroom in the rear. Again, my name is Rashid. This is your 430 bus going.
I'm in I just got to Virginia. I just took a bus trip. No, it's alright. You don't have to record. I have a couple hours left before my deadline, so let's see if I could hit it. So my mom is totally schooling me on the piece right now. So I'm gonna eat first, practice a little more. I got about an hour and 20 minutes left that I could practice and see if I can produce something interesting. Look how great this looks. I miss some home cooking. Okay, so here I am in front of the Grand. I'm gonna try a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna make it, but it's pretty much time to go. This is a fun product. Definitely not everything, but it's something. go.
What do you think? I think I'm proud of you. But I'm also proud of myself for sitting through the whole thing.
Alright, that's fair. That's fair.
It's better than I thought anyone could do.
In a week?
Yeah. But it was still...
Yeah, I got somewhere, but not,
It's not what the video's about, but these are genuinely impressive headphones.
You should get a pair.
So how'd you think I did?
Little shaky at the beginning, but you picked it up.
Yeah.
All right, so definitely not ready for a piano competition.
No,
but
definitely not.
But how long did you have?
A week.
A week. That is amazing progress for a week. As someone who has actually tried this myself, so good job on that.
Thanks, I appreciate it. The thing is, I feel like I have a little bit of a leg up because, I don't know, I've done music before, so it's not like I have zero music experience.
Yeah.
So maybe that helped, but I didn't even read any of the notes.
Well, yeah, I saw you got the
the little.
What do you call that?
I don't know. It's someone called it Guitar Hero, which is pretty accurate. It's just I'm just hitting the keys as it comes down, and I know what it sounds like. So
yeah, back in the day, I had a Casio keyboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the keyboard would actually light up to tell me what notes to hit. So I would just memorize songs just like that.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, that would have definitely helped here.
It would have.
But now I'm going straight Yamaha. What computer? Yamaha, straight.
Yeah. And then I have my Novation one
over there.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. You have anything else to say before we conclude this?
Now we good.
All right, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Actually, Inhak's playing of Bach piece is not bad, but he couldn't quite master it. I think it would be better if he knows how to read the score.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is, learn how to read music.
Think of what do you think of my piano challenge?
I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because you're taking a shortcut.
But there are shortcuts.
Yeah, so you'll never be good.
Okay, autofocus on me. Focus on me. There we go. Okay. So, hi. You're still watching. It's April. I'm doing catch up on the vlogs right now. That one took kind of long. I'm thinking about picking up daily vlogging eventually. I don't know if it's going to be this summer or next. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I can't believe you stayed through the whole thing. This is the longest thing I've ever done. There's another short film that I will be releasing probably a little bit later this year that I did a couple of years ago. That is much more higher end production. But you won't see that yet. Anyway, since you're here, you might as well subscribe or throw me a like, because I'm trying to eventually, do more stuff like this. This became kind of like a documentary, a little bit less than a vlog. So, yeah, that's it. Stay tuned. Next thing I'm doing is I'm going to Edinburgh. I'm catching up on the other vlogs. So stay tuned. I'm going to release another one next week. So, all right.